Silver's looking good for you buyers out there who are looking to continue to add to your goals. Silver right now, obviously the New York spot price market is closed. The Asian European markets are open. Right now it's 22.48, actually 22.58, and still going down. So it's looking good for, I know I need to add a little bit more to my portfolio. So I would urge everybody to take advantage of this dip. Again, as I mentioned in last night's video, not worth the gamble to see how far it'll go down. No one knows how far it'll go down. It can go all the way down to 14, where it was, a year ago? 15, where it was a year ago, somewhere in there? We don't know that, but if you metaphorically close your eyes and wake up the next morning, it's back up to $26 or $27. You kind of missed out. So again, it's looking really good. You can always do that the technique of just riding the pullback. Obviously, divide your budget into thirds or quarters, and every time you see the price go down a little bit, if you like, spend a fraction of that budget, a quarter or a third of it, until it stops going down, and then you've taken your best advantage of the pullback, the spot price. But it is looking really good. Consistently all day long today. During the day it was 1.62, a total of 6.63%. This evening it's about 1.21%. So it's a consistent fallback, which leads me, due to, again, consistency, due to its drive, its consistent downward trend over the last day or so. I'm thinking maybe a little bit more of a pullback is expected, just the way it's driving downwards. So on to some news. By the way, I got on JM Bullion, where I buy my gold and silver from, and everything I wanted was kind of out of stock. I really want to get some of those 5 or 10 ounce bars, the Sunshine Mint bars, all sold out. All the nice bars are sold out, and it's a pity. So I got myself on the waiting list, and I'm hoping to pick up a couple of more. But we'll see. There is some Eagles left, by the way. So I didn't check any Maple Leafs, but there definitely is some Eagles. So what don't you know already by now? The shit's going down in Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm listening to multiple radio stations to get multiple insights to the 3 people that were indicted. And it sounded fair. This court sounded fair. They didn't seem like they were trying to evade or circumvent the law to get these cops off scot-free. It was tragic, no doubt about it. It was tragic, and it was a mistake. It was an accident. Things can be done better. However, saying that, when these cops kicked down the door, regardless of whether it was the wrong door or not, the person inside started shooting, not the boyfriend did, not Breonna Taylor. But as soon as that shooter, first of all, if you ever taken shooting classes, safety classes, they teach you, identify your target first. At least try to, right? Obviously if the lights are out and they're just sneaking around, yeah, you're not going to be able to identify it. But when you kick the door down and there's lights on in the house, you ought to see the uniforms. Okay, and then ascertain that really quickly it's not a threat. The boyfriend started shooting, and by law, regardless of the mistakes that led up to kicking down that door or entry, by law, the police still, even if it was you, have a right to self-defense. And that's how Breonna Taylor got killed, by shooting back at her boyfriend. How she got hit, they're not explaining it. I don't know. The individual who is actually getting prosecuted, his bullets didn't hit nobody. They went through the wall into another apartment, or maybe into a couple of other apartments. I don't know. Nobody was even hit from his bullets, not even Breonna Taylor, nobody, yet he's the one being indicted. So I'm not defending the court's decision one way or the other. It does sound fair. However, what I'm looking at is these riots and the demand for a different outcome. That's what I really want to speak about, the demand for a different judicial outcome, a different sentencing. That goes against the belief of the court. Let's just hypothetically say they did it by the book. And it sounds like they did it by the book. What these people, these protesters want, they want a modern day lynching. And what is that? That's an illegal kill regardless of evidence. And that's what they're wanting. By the way, one cop was just shot. I heard it as I was walking in to do this video. Whether it was from a rioter, I don't know. One would have to presume, because it is downtown Louisville, is where that person got shot. Again, this lady sounded like a really wonderful lady. Here she is, actually. Sounded like a really wonderful lady, and it was just tragic. They made a good point. The boyfriend opened fired. He was the one who shot first. Now, I'm not trying to cast blame. Had he identified the people kicking in his door as police officers, and if he would have dropped his weapon, maybe Breonna would have been alive by now. Maybe he was a little too rash. However, he had every right to defend his home. So it's kind of like a mixed bag of it's just a perfect storm when it came to an accident, a mistake. And you got to put yourself in the police's mindset. They, at the time, did not know they were kicking down the wrong door. At that moment, they kicked down the wrong door, and all of a sudden bullets are flying towards them. Immediately, probably assumed, okay, we got the right address, not knowing they actually kicked down the wrong door. Breonna Taylor, her boyfriend, he was justified in defending the home, and he was in possession of a legally obtained weapon. So he did not do anything wrong, in my opinion, with the exception of judgment. So I'll just leave it at that. It really is a shame. If anybody should have been charged, it should have been him for his judgment call, not identifying who he was shooting at. The police are held to that account, aren't they? They're held to that standard. They're told to identify a weapon before shooting, before self-defense. Remember that knife thing where the guy walked into his car seat and there was an argument whether the cop saw a knife or not before they shot him in the back? They were held up to that standard. They were supposed to actually see a weapon before, and actually, I want to say the right words. Not only are they supposed to see a weapon, there needs to be a threat to them. So the police are held to that standard, and I believe in some mechanism, some way, Breonna, her boyfriend should be held to some type of accountability. Jail time, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say. It really is. It's a fine line, and I know I know it's a heated subject right now. But he shot the cops and hit one in the leg or the thigh or whatever. So maybe if he just, I guess I'll just end it with this. Maybe if he just identified who was kicking down his door just for a split second. And I know people can say, well, split second get you killed. But it did in this case. Either way, it got somebody killed. maybe this wouldn't have happened. Who knows? Take care.